So the S1000 RR is on the dyno. We're just about to do some base runs on it. It is a full development bike, so we will be running it at pretty much every throttle opening in every mode. We're going to log that, see what the bike's doing at the factory, see if there's any limitations put in it, see if BMW are pulling the throttle or pulling the advance, or there's other limiters in the map. We've got a fair idea of what's going on already because we've already looked through the software. But we just want to run it on the dyno and see what it's actually doing on the bike. Right, so that's the stage one of the BMW S1000 RR finished. It's running the Bosch ME17 ECU. It's something that we're very, very familiar with. It's the same ECU that all the newer BMWs are running. So the bike made 195 brake horsepower at the back wheel stock. It's a lot of ponies to start with. There was very little to do at the top end except for remove some of the limitations, put a little bit of advance in. At some points the bike was actually a little bit rich at the top end, but we're not going to start taking fuel out just for the sake of taking fuel out. We managed to achieve 202 brake horsepower at the back wheel. The graph's a little bit smoother. After 8,000 RPM, the modified bike just carries on making power in a nice, smooth, linear manner. It's a Euro 5 bike, so it's going to have the Euro 5 traits, and they are very, very pronounced at every throttle opening up to 100%. And the lower the throttle opening, the worse they are. At 20% throttle, the bike's really lean. It won't rev past 5,500 RPM. It makes a little bit of power up to about 3,500 RPM, and then the power just starts to tail off and the power delivery gets really laboured. As you can see here, that's the blue plot on the graph is a standard bike. After we've modified it, we've put a bit more fuel in. We've now got a power delivery that's significantly improved over the stock bike. It's not making a huge amount of power. It will rev up, but it's not going to at 20% throttle opening. It'll rev past 7,500 RPM, but on the road, this really translates into a far smoother running. The lumpy running characteristics are gone, and the bike is actually much more pleasurable to drive in traffic. You've now got a 202 horsepower bike that will actually ride around cars and stationary traffic. Okay, 50% RPM. The bike, again, Euro 5 traits, below 9,000 RPM, it's really lean. It's running at Lambda 1. 14.68 to 1 or thereabouts. This is where we've started to add quite a bit more fuel in. We've made the fueling exactly how we want it. The bike now is far more linear. The flat spots are really smoothed out. At 70% throttle, the standard bike is really lean between 4 and 9,000 RPM. This is where we put the fuel in, and we've also removed some of the limitations on the throttle higher up in the rev range. That's why you can see the bike now makes more power anywhere above 8,000 RPM. And the throttle response below is going to be hugely improved because the bike is now fueling properly. As well as getting the bike fueled right and mapped properly, we can do all sorts of things with this ECU. A popular one is removing the cold start. We can remove the EVAP system, the pair valve system, the exhaust valve, and of course we remove all the throttle restrictions and increase the RPM just a touch, just to give you a little bit more rollover at the top end. So that's a wrap for the stage one modifications. We're more than happy with how the bike rides. We're more than happy with the power gains that we've made. This bike now is fully developed for the stage one, and it is available on our ECU Flasher. This is a device, if you're not local to us, allows you to take a read from your bike, send that file to us, and one of our map writers will modify that dial for you, giving you a full stage one map on your bike. But you know, we bike guys, enough never is for us guys. We're going to start to get a little bit more into the development of this bike now, get rid of the end can, get rid of the cats, see what more we can get out of it, see if we can make it sound a little bit better. It does sound a little bit lame. We hope you enjoy what we're bringing to you. Do drop us a subscribe, it really does help the channel out, and it'll keep you notified of when episode 2 is available.